Hey Roman, I just wanted to show you what's been going on since you've been here. Been about 4 or 5 months since I've had like a good rain. So we have an extreme drought and wildfires like everywhere. So it's like smoky outside all the time. So it hasn't been, it's pretty much the worst year to start growing vegetables. But what I'm doing now is I've got lettuce growing. This is like 2 weeks old. So I've obviously put plastic, turned this into a greenhouse in the back porch here. This my mini greenhouse has basil and some herbs growing in it, but I'm gonna plant those with more lettuce because after like 2 weeks I can do another 2 week succession, and that has like some radishes, and underneath there I have beets and Swiss chard, and I'm gonna do some other stuff. I built a wash table for washing vegetables. I just drain the water down into this bucket, and then I water the vegetables with the water I use to wash the other vegetables. So I think that's pretty cool. I just did some today, and getting some more stuff planted. I have some things I bought that are really cheap at the end of the year, broccoli and cauliflower there. And I'm going to fill those full of just soil and do lettuce in those as well. And so I've got this whole thing like plastic in, and I need to get some of this other crap off the back of the porch here. But I plan on putting a lot more vegetables out here. Try not to make this too long on you. Cypher, come here. Come on. Come on. Gonna run it out. Still got a bunch of junk in the backyard, of course. Gonna be working on that. Run up here. This is the plot that you and me worked on intensively. You had your little heart there. Those are beet greens, and have some spinach in the middle and more beets at the end. This is all collard greens, and this stuff has already been replanted several times. It all went with the drought. I mean, everything was, I gave up. It was just too much with the heat and no water forever. So I didn't want to spend that much money on watering. This is all kale through here, so that's just the heart plot, the love plot. And then I have the kale here, which I mulched with leaves, and I mean that's the same kale from before, and a lot of that stuff we transplanted actually worked out. And this is all lettuce, some bib lettuce and romaine lettuce, and those are broccoli and cauliflower plants, and in between there are beets in between all those, and the spinach didn't really work out over there. And then I had somebody come, I had like a farmhand come, her name was Liz from Wisconsin, and she's like traveled all over the world, and she was really cool, but I think she just didn't, well, she got bit by a dog the first time. The first day she was here, she got bit by a dog and had to go to the hospital. So it was kind of like it was a really bad start. We got off on the wrong foot there. And then later on, she was cornered by a dog again, like 4 days later. And then she decided that she was going to go back and hike the Appalachian Trail for a while and camp out there. She liked to camp by herself and stuff. So she ran like 8 miles a day and then biked on top of it. And then we worked 6 hours on top of that, and she like wore me out. It was ridiculous. But she's kind of like a marathon runner as well. But anyway, I told her about you. She was like, man, I really wish I could have met him. But she just came like a couple of weeks ago, and then all the dog business happened, and I think she didn't want to deal with dogs trying to bite her all the time everywhere she ran. I think the dog that you were talking about is the dog that bit her when she was on her bike, and she didn't report it or anything. I wish she would have, so that doesn't continue to happen. But anyway, back to the garden here. I've got this. I planted these with lettuce, but it's getting a little too cool outside, and I'm afraid it's not going to germinate. I had blankets over it. Well, there's some little guys coming along there. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there's. So it might work out okay. That's cabbage in there, along with collard greens, and all those. These are going to be cold frames, so that's all spinach through there, and some chives and parsley. But it's more lettuce over there and radishes running along behind the cold frames, and more lettuce. I've already harvested this like 3 times, and it's growing back. this is the third growth on this, so it's pretty awesome. Those are 3 rows of kale through there. I gotta weed that. And more salad greens. I have 3 customers that still buy stuff from me. Our agreements finally ended after 20 weeks of drought and like super shitty weather. Just drought and like 98-degree Fahrenheit weather. The plants couldn't take it. So basically I had to suspend 2 of the CSA memberships, and then I got back to them and I fulfilled my contract with them, and then they wanted more. So especially this cold weather veggies, they wanted a lot of these. So these are mustard greens, and I've already cut these down. I cut these down like every week. Like I take like 3 or 4 pounds out of this like every week, and it's growing back. This is kind of like the winter growth, and this is some of the leftover summer growth over here. And those are all turnips all the way back through here. Those are leftover okra through there. Behind there, they're the first planting of radishes. Didn't do too well because it's still so hot. It's amazing what's going on here. We've had basically record temperatures this year, but now we're in a drought still. I mean, extreme drought. Like the forest around like Smoky Mountains and everywhere is catching on fire. People are setting fires too for some reason. It's crazy. But now I got some spinach in those cold frames. Oh, out there I didn't show you those. Run back over here real quick. This is what me and Liz set up, were the cold frames, and these all have spinach in them, and basically they're gonna be covered with like plastic or a window like this, and then they'll vent out the side. And those were the old dressers I had in my room that I was gonna throw away. And then I said,